This seat is for high school dropouts like you. You don't deserve anything better.
I was stunned when Monica pointed to the bench in front of the restroom and said that. Just as I was about to snap back at Monica, who was laughing and recording with her smartphone, something unexpected happened.
Long time no see. How have you been?
A renowned doctor, respected by my brother Ted, called out to me. Monica, realizing who I was, fell to the ground in despair. My name is Emily. I live with my father, mother, older brother, and myself. My brother Ted, who is a doctor, has always been very smart and kind. My parents doted on Ted, and I also looked up to him. However, at some point, I started feeling that only Ted was being loved. Of course, now that I'm an adult, I understand that's not the case. Still, as a child, my feelings of inferiority led me down a path of delinquency. After graduating middle school, I didn't go to high school and became a part-time worker. Even so, my father, mother, and Ted never gave up on me. Though I was a part-timer, I worked hard and gradually grew up. When I turned 28, Ted, who is 3 years older than me, decided to get married. The whole family was overjoyed. Of course, I was happy too. Hey, what's your fiancé like?
She's a very refined woman who attended a prestigious all-girls school from elementary through high school. She graduated from an overseas university and is very smart and wonderful.
Wow, what does she do for work?
She used to work in an office, but she quit for the wedding and plans to transfer to her dad's company where she can be more flexible.
Ted said happily. It was the first time I saw Ted looking like this. That's great. She's already thinking about life after the wedding. I'm glad you found someone so amazing. I can't wait for the wedding, I said, genuinely happy. When I insisted on meeting her, Ted looked at the calendar and pondered.
How about next Thursday?
I agreed immediately.
Dress nicely.
Ted joked with a smile. Of course, I'm not going to meet my future sister-in-law in shabby clothes. Ted smiled at my words. I waited eagerly for that day to come. On the promised day, I was supposed to meet Ted at 6 p.m. However, I accidentally fell asleep, and when I woke up, it was already 5:30 p.m. It takes 15 minutes to get to the meeting spot at the station.
Emily, weren't you going out for dinner with Ted and his fiancée today?
If my mother hadn't reminded me, I might have completely missed the appointment. I grabbed the cookies I had prepared as a gift and hurried to the station. Just as I was almost there, I saw a woman nearly bump into an elderly lady carrying shopping bags.
Whoa.
Just in the nick of time, the old lady didn't get hit, but she was so startled that she fell hard. Her plastic bag tore, scattering its contents everywhere.
Watch where you're going.
The woman glanced at the old lady, clicked her tongue, and walked away. How shocking! She looks fashionable but has such an awful heart. Are you okay?
Yes, thank you.
I rushed over to the old lady, took her hand, and helped her up. I gathered the spilled items and took out the cookies I had brought as a gift for Ted's fiancée, putting them in the paper bag. Here you go.
Oh my, even a bag. Thank you.
No problem. It was an unfortunate incident. I smiled at the old lady, and she said,
That girl often walks around here, always looking at her phone. I couldn't dodge her today because I had too many bags.
The old lady vented her frustration. It seemed that the woman hadn't noticed the old lady walking until the last moment because she was looking at her phone. but I'm glad you weren't hurt.
I should do something to thank you. You even gave me a bag.
No, it's fine. I'm in a hurry, so I need to go now. Take care. I said this and hurried to the station. I thought I would just make it in time, but I was about 5 minutes late.
If you're going to be late, let me know.
Sorry, I fell asleep.
You really are something.
Ted laughed. By the way, where's your fiancée?
Since you were late, she went to the restroom for a bit.
I see. I'm sorry to keep her waiting. As I said that, I saw a woman approaching us. I instinctively looked down. It was the same woman who had bumped into the old lady earlier and walked away. I waited for her to pass, but she stopped right where we were. I looked up in surprise.
Let me introduce you. This is my fiancée, Monica. Monica, this is my sister, Emily.
I couldn't believe the woman from earlier was Ted's fiancée. I forced a smile, and Monica laughed through her nose.
Hi, I'm Monica.
Monica wasn't the refined woman I had imagined, but someone who seemed quite strong-willed. She was far from the wonderful person Ted had described. Maybe it was because I had seen what happened earlier, but I couldn't help feeling uneasy about her words and actions.
Were you okay being late?
Sorry, I fell asleep without realizing it.
Oh, in the middle of a weekday? Well, it happens.
Monica laughed mockingly. That irritated me a bit, but I pulled myself together, handed over the gift, and introduced myself. I'm Emily, Ted's sister. Nice to meet you. However, Monica looked at the cookies and said with a puzzled expression,
Didn't you even have a paper bag? I thought you bought them for yourself. Good thing my bag is big today. Thanks.
Although she said thank you, I didn't feel good about it. Ted, who had seen the whole interaction, didn't say anything about our conversation.
Shall we head to the restaurant?
Wait a minute.
Monica sidled up to Ted, speaking in a sweet voice, and walked beside him. Then, for some reason, she gave me a triumphant smile and walked off. It was the worst first meeting ever. My impression of Monica was terrible. I wished I would never have to see her again. But the wedding was already set. All I could do was hope Monica would be a good wife for Ted. When I got home, my mother eagerly asked for my impressions, but I just smiled and avoided answering. As time went on, the wedding plans progressed, and it was decided that our families would meet. Monica's father is an executive and a department manager in a company, and her mother is a pharmacist. She also has one younger brother. I don't need to go. I've already met Monica. I wanted to avoid getting involved as much as possible.
That's not acceptable.
My father, who values family relationships, insisted, so I reluctantly agreed to participate.
Oh, long time no see. You didn't oversleep today, did you?
On the day of the meeting, Monica said this as soon as she saw me. I wondered why she had such a grudge against me. It was disheartening. However, the reason would become clear at the upcoming family meeting.
Ted's sister is Emily, right? Which university did she graduate from?
Just as I was about to answer Monica's father, Frank, Monica interrupted.
Dad, I told you not to ask that question, didn't I?
But you might be mistaken. I can't believe that such a lovely family's daughter was a delinquent.
Frank said this, then looked startled and smiled awkwardly. Monica knew from Ted that I had gone off the rails after middle school. Before my confused parents could say anything, I spoke up. You're right, I didn't go to high school after middle school. I often didn't come home, and I worked as a waitress at a family restaurant. Monica smirked upon hearing this.
See, I told you it was true, right?
Her voice sounded mocking no matter how you listened to it. I was genuinely fed up, but Monica then tried to defend me.
Emily, you will have it tough from now on, but I'll help if needed. I'm also going to work at my father's company, so it'll be fine.
That's right. Helping each other is important.
I don't need your help, I wanted to say, but I didn't want to cause a scene, so I just smiled it off. But the real problem came after this. As I headed to the restroom, Monica followed me.
That was a big meal.
She said cheerfully, but as soon as we were outside and the family was out of sight, she spoke to me, still smiling.
Just so you know, I have no intention of helping you.
What?
Come on, about what I said earlier. Whether you end up homeless or whatever, we have no obligation to help you. There's no reason to help someone who hasn't even tried.
Monica emphasized once more that she wouldn't help me. I didn't feel like responding and continued to ignore her after that. She really was an awful woman. I couldn't imagine Ted being happy married to someone like her. Ted, don't you think you should reconsider her?
What are you talking about? She's a great girl.
He didn't even want to hear my concerns. And so, unable to give my blessings, the wedding day arrived. After the wedding, I parted ways with my busy parents and headed alone to the reception hall. But there, something shocking happened. I thought I would go ahead and take a seat, so I looked at the seating chart. However, no matter how much I looked, I couldn't find my name on the chart. Without a seat, I couldn't enter the hall, so I looked around in disbelief. Maybe it's a mistake. I wanted to confirm, so I looked for a staff member. But before I could find one, Monica appeared, recording me with her smartphone.
Hilarious.
Apparently, she had been filming me panicking over the seating chart from the shadows. Monica said to me, her eyes wide with mockery.
Panicking because you can't find your seat? You were looking for a staff member, but it's not a mistake.
What do you mean?
Just what I said.
Monica said, looking around. Then, pointing to a bench in front of the restroom, she said,
There it is, the seat for high school dropouts. That's good enough for you.
I was speechless at Monica's behavior. While I couldn't say anything, Monica laughed loudly. Just as I was about to snap back, someone approached us. Noticing his presence, Monica stopped laughing and closed her mouth in surprise as she saw him.
Long time no see. How have you been?
His name was Sam Johnson. He was Ted's respected boss and a renowned doctor in the community. Monica forced a smile at Sam's words.
Sam, today is.
However, Sam ignored Monica and spoke to me.
Congratulations on Ted's wedding today. What a beautiful day it has turned out to be.
Monica looked genuinely shocked that Sam was addressing me. And no wonder, since Sam was speaking to me respectfully with a smile. Monica, clearly unhappy, addressed Sam.
Sam, Emily may be Ted's sister, but she's not someone you need to be so formal with. After all, she's just a high school dropout.
Monica laughed as she said that. She probably meant it as a joke, but Sam's face hardened when he heard it.
What are you talking about? Where else can you find someone as capable as Emily? She is an excellent systems engineer who travels nationwide helping troubled kids find jobs. Emily created the electronic medical record system for our hospital. Many of the staff we have were brought in through her connections. Without Emily, our hospital wouldn't function.
Sam explained to Monica. Monica looked utterly incredulous. But everything Sam said was true. After graduating middle school, I did go astray for a while. However, I decided that this wasn't the way to live. So I enrolled in an online high school and graduated from a technical school to become a systems engineer. I chose to become a systems engineer due to the influence of a friend I met during my troubled years. This friend was incredibly knowledgeable about computers and could even hack. Thanks to him, I also became quite proficient with computers. I turned my friend's hacking skills on their head, creating systems that couldn't be hacked, and sold them as a freelance systems engineer to organizations and companies handling personal information. This brought me considerable income. With a setup that allowed me to work from anywhere with a computer, I traveled around the country supporting young people who had strayed off the path, just like I once had. Sam patiently explained everything to Monica. Monica turned pale and couldn't say a word. I laughed at Monica's discomfort. Just then, I heard Ted's voice.
Monica, what are you doing here? We need to get ready. The staff has been looking for you.
Ted called out to Monica, but when he noticed Sam and me, he straightened up.
Sam, thank you for being here today.
However, Sam's expression remained stern.
Ted, are you really going to marry this woman?
Then Sam said in exasperation. Monica raised her head in surprise at his words.
What?
Did you know that Monica has been harassing Emily?
What do you mean?
I was also surprised by his words. Apparently, Sam had seen Monica mocking me and stepped in to intervene.
Just a while ago, she was even filming a video while making fun of Emily.
Ted's face hardened at those words, and he held out his hand to Monica.
Show me your phone.
What?
Show me the video you just took.
Ted's angry voice echoed. Monica, nearly in tears, handed her phone to Ted. The phone contained a recording of our earlier interaction. Ted watched it with a stern expression. When the video ended, Ted said,
Sam, I'm sorry you had to see such a disgraceful scene. Thank you for standing up for Emily.
Ted, there's a reason for this.
Without looking at Monica, Ted said,
The wedding is off. Today's reception is also canceled.
What?
I can't marry Monica.
I was also shocked by Ted's words, but Monica just kept sobbing and repeating, I'm sorry. Ted shook off Monica's clinging arm and apologized to Sam. What followed was chaotic. The staff, shocked by the cancellation, hurried to Ted to ask what had happened. The guests, unsure of what to do, started murmuring. My parents seemed to be explaining and apologizing to their work-related guests.
Ted, I know Monica did something wrong, but this happens in marriages. Can't you forgive her just this once?
Frank hurried over to Ted, trying to smooth things over. But Ted wouldn't budge.
What's happening? Is the wedding canceled?
Someone addressed us in the midst of the commotion. Frank straightened up when he saw her.
Sarah.
It seemed she was an important figure in Frank's company. Since Frank was an executive, it was likely that many of his colleagues had been invited. Sarah looked straight at me and smiled.
Oh, aren't you the one who helped me when I fell? You gave me the bag of cookies.
For a moment, I wondered what she was talking about, but I quickly found the answer. Oh, from that time.
You helped me a lot then. Thank you so much. Are you Monica by any chance?
No, I shook my head with mixed feelings at Sarah's happy smile, and Frank said,
No, she's Monica's fiance's sister. Monica, this is Sarah, the chairperson. Introduce yourself.
Urged by Frank, Monica wiped her tears and stepped forward to Sarah. Seeing Monica, Sarah's face tensed and her tone changed.
You?
Yes, I'm Monica. Nice to meet you. My father speaks highly of you.
Nice to meet you. No, we've met before.
Both Monica and Frank looked at Sarah in surprise.
You're the one always looking at your phone while walking, right? You've bumped into me before, and you're well known in the neighborhood for being dangerous. And when people warn you, you yell at them, don't you? Everyone is troubled because of you.
What?
Monica and Frank turned pale at her words.
Of course, I'm one of the people you've yelled at. That time, Emily helped me.
Sarah walked over to me and took my hand.
I heard earlier that you support young people. This is sudden, but our company needs talent. If you could introduce some, that would be great.
What? Of course. Thank you so much. I thanked Sarah. Now, even more young people could find jobs. What a blessing.
Sarah, about hiring Monica.
I'm sorry, but that offer is off the table.
What? Please reconsider.
Maybe it's you who should reconsider how you've raised your child. While some people work hard to help others, some can only belittle others. I'm old, but I still have a good eye for people. I decide whom to hire.
Monica and Frank sat down in despair. Neither of them could lift their heads, and they remained there in silence for a while. In the end, Ted and Monica's wedding was canceled. Monica's parents, embarrassed in front of Sarah, apologized to me profusely. They offered to cover all the wedding costs as compensation and did not ask Ted for any penalties for the broken engagement. The only saving grace was that they hadn't filed the marriage certificate yet. Our lives remained unchanged. But things were different for Monica. She had been looking forward to a carefree life, thinking she was marrying a doctor. But all those plans fell apart. She couldn't join Sarah's company and was left unemployed. On top of that, her parents were furious and kicked her out of the house.
When you said you wondered if I was really going to get married, I should have taken the time to learn more about Monica. I'm sorry for not listening properly.
Ted apologized to me. I said it because I was worried about your happiness. It all worked out in the end. Now, I pray that Ted finds true happiness in his future marriage. Meanwhile, I have received an official request from Sarah's company to facilitate job placements. Although many of them have a past involving delinquency, most of them are earnest and determined individuals. I'm confident they'll withstand the challenges of society. Receiving a good education doesn't necessarily make someone a good person. And not being educated doesn't mean someone is a failure. I will keep this in mind as I continue to help and engage with many people.